Amigos, it is 2025 and it's the time of year where people are making resolutions, and maybe even our students have made resolutions. But what I wanted to do this year is teach my students how to write goals that they will accomplish and not resolutions that will be broken. So what I have is a SMART goals instruction sheet and another sheet to walk them through and check in on their progress. So I made it in both English and I have the Spanish version. That is the acronym METAS instead of SMART, but it follows the same information. And then their goal writing sheet is in Spanish. So I'm going to use one with one level and one with the other. My level 3 can handle all the Spanish, and then the level 2, I'm going to use the English instructional sheet and the Spanish writing sheet because they can handle that. But what it does is it walks you through the acronym SMART, which is the best way to write goals to make sure that they are specific enough to know that you've accomplished them. So we're not just shooting in the dark. We are purposely and intentionally coming up with a goal and figuring out how to accomplish it. So the acronym, if you haven't heard of the SMART goals, is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-oriented. So what this sheet does, it simplifies the process for your students or even yourself, because honestly, I'm using my own product to write goals for myself this year. So what it does is it explains what the letter of the acronym is. So specific, it asks you a question. What do you want to accomplish? Don't be general, be specific about what you want. And then I give 2 examples. One that is not specific, so I'm going to learn more. Not very specific. What are you going to learn? How are you going to know that you accomplished it? Versus, I'm going to read 6 books about leadership. That is very specific. So it walks you through each one of the letters of the acronym, explaining exactly what not to do and what to do. Then, to help your students out, you have this sheet, and I made it pretty. So we make the goal, I will, whatever it is. Or if you're doing the Spanish version, voy a, whatever it is that they're going to do, because by this time they should have learned how to use ir a and another verb. And then it describes the steps and the date by which you will accomplish it, because remember, in the SMART goals, we want it to be time-oriented. We want an expiration date to motivate us. So they go through the steps. So what are you going to do to reach your goal? Boom, boom, boom. 3 things. Now, I used to have 5 things, but I think for my students, a more attainable thing is 3 steps. So I reduced it from my original. But also what I've done here is, have you finished this step? On either side, one side will be yes. If they answer yes, then they're going towards the bottom. If they answer no, then this section is where they will tweak things, because we want them to be successful at their goals. So if it's not working, if this step is not working at this moment, what can they do to change that to be successful? So with this sheet, once I get them to write their steps, then in about a month, we're going to come back in and we're going to check on these things so that they don't forget about it. Because what will happen if it's not in the forefront of their mind, they're not going to be trying to accomplish it. So we're going to come back in and check on them monthly, because this is their semester goal. And we're going to make sure that they're accomplishing it. And we're going to make sure and check these down here. What can we change if they're not accomplishing it? So what I'm doing with my students is I'm having them come up with 2, one personal and then one at school. And it can be my class or any class. And so what they'll do is they'll write them, they're going to turn them in, I'm going to read them, and then I'm going to advise them if their goal is, we're going to talk about it. Okay, is that goal really realistic and attainable for you? So if they failed first semester and they're trying to make an A, then let's check in at a point and say, we can lower the bar a little bit and still have a goal that's attainable, that's making you stretch, so that you don't want, for example, I give on this sheet for attainable, I'm going to lose 5 pounds in 5 days. might be possible if you're not going to eat anything, but we want attainable and sustainable here. So on the other hand, something that would be attainable, I'm going to lose 5 pounds in 2 months. So we want our students to write things that they can accomplish so that they can feel good about it. And we also want to check in on it to make sure that they are making progress. So you can do that in either Spanish or English. And then at the very bottom, what they have, what are you going to do? What are you going to reward yourself with when you've accomplished your goal, so that they have something to look forward to? And so these are what we're going to work on Friday of this first week back in school. And then we're going to be checking in on it monthly, and I'll keep you posted on how they go. And I am going to actually write my goals with my students and check in with them. So it keeps me accountable. It keeps them accountable. They see that I'm doing what I'm having them do. And if you want to use this product, you don't need the product. You can just do it on your own. But if you'd like to use it, I'll leave a link in the description.